Amazon EC2 auto scaling. So people get confused with the name. We have three auto scaling services and they are working differently. They have their own use cases. Let me focus on first writing down those names. So first commonly used is what we call Amazon EC2 auto scaling. That is the most common one. Then we have AWS auto scaling. And then we have AWS application auto scaling. They have different purposes. They work differently. The concept is same, adding capacity when you need and removing capacity when you don't need. So concept is same, but the scope of those services are different. Like when I'm using AWS auto scaling, I could include multiple services inside like EC2, DynamoDB and other services. So that's possible. Application auto scaling, I would be focusing purely based on application data. What I am focusing today is Amazon EC2 auto scaling. Idea here is based on my requirement, I would add capacity for EC2 or I would remove capacity from those EC2 instances. So I would be scaling out or scaling in based on this particular service, which is called Amazon or EC2 auto scaling. Okay, so we are trying to scale our services depending on the metrics. Let's see this picture thing in action. Now, auto scaling as a service can be used independently. Means I could just create an auto scaling group and work from there, should not be a problem. But most of the time what you would find that it would make sense if you combine this auto scaling service with other services as well. Let me explain that. Let's say what I could do. I could have a load balancer. You know what load balancers, right? Load balancer distribute traffic as the request comes in. I could put load balancer in front and behind it as a target I could have auto scaling group, and in this auto scaling group I could define minimum number of instances and maximum number of instances which I want to use. So this minimum and maximum number of instances, once I start, minimum is 2. So auto scaling group would create a set of 2 instances for me and make them part of this auto scaling group because we have added it as a minimum required, right? So load balancer is an independent service. It can work independently. Auto scaling is an independent service, but most of the time you would see customers combine it because that makes sense to distribute your traffic using that pattern. So what I would have now, my users would be coming to my load balancer as a front end, and then we would be coming in. What is the difference between minimum versus desired? We will talk about, Debashis. Hold on to that question. We'll discuss on that. So users are sending requests to my EC Elastic Load Balancer here. Now, for monitoring, we need to have a service called CloudWatch, which we just discussed. CloudWatch can collect metrics from different places. CloudWatch can say, hey, send me information, load balancer, tell me what is your latency. Latency is basically when I am having a service, load balancer receives a request, send it to backend processes and responds back. Obviously, it would take some time. So that is the latency which my users would be seeing. So monitoring of latency from load balancer can be done by CloudWatch. Load balancer can report its latency metrics to CloudWatch and CloudWatch can track it. Similarly, I could have also configured to have metrics from my EC2 instances like average CPU utilization. And this could be also reported to my CloudWatch as a service, should not be a problem. Now, what CloudWatch is going to do, it would collect metrics and I could define some threshold here. Based on these threshold, it would go ahead and perform some action for me. So I may have seen that, hey, my average CPU utilization is going high, and in response to it, I want to trigger an alarm. So my threshold breached, maybe CPU utilization went 80%, alarm raised, and that alarm can be leveraged to talk to the service, which is called our auto scaling service. Right. So CloudWatch once receives an alert which says that, hey, there is something wrong. We have a lot of utilization of EC2 machine. We do not have enough capacity. Call more people to help us. CloudWatch will then say, okay, let me talk to auto scaling service. So three services are working here: load balancer, CloudWatch, and auto scaling. they could be independently working or they could combine here, like as we have seen here. So we are going to cover this information. So what happens now, that this service is responding to CloudWatch EC2 auto scaling and say, hey, we do not have sufficient capacity. Can you add more member into the group so that we could handle the load which is coming up? Auto scaling would say, yes, I'm happy to do that, but I would need a template, because you have to tell me what size of EC2 you want. You have to tell me what operating system it would have, what software would be installed inside it. So I would be needing that information, and that information is captured into a component, which is what we call is a launch config. So launch config is basically your template, which serves as a starting point for launching new instances into your auto scaling group. So that's what we are going to do. We need a template, and that template will be used as a base for launching new instances in my environment. That's what my auto scaling service is going to do. Okay, hopefully everyone is clear with that. So auto scaling will detect that, it will read the launch config, and based on that deploy one instance to me. And just deploying instance won't work. I have to inform load balancer also that, hey, load balancer, now you could send traffic to 3 instances rather than 2. So auto scaling would also report or notify load balancer that instance is healthy. Please go ahead and we can go ahead and send traffic to the available instance. Auto scaling can do its health check, and health check will ensure that only healthy instances are reported to auto scaling, and then only auto scaling would be sending information. So that is completing the whole cycle of my application request. And hopefully, once I have 3 instances, this red CPU utilization would be green or blue, because we do not have that much of complications there. Right, so we will discuss this, how these all components work. I'll show you a quick demo and we can take it from there. We would be then moving forward and understanding all these things into action. And once that setup is running, I would talk about minimum, maximum, and all those kind of stuff. Right, so let me leverage the same instance which we have launched. This was the instance we launched, right? There is one instance we launched, that instance was running, and I am going to leverage the same instance. What I'm going to do here, just to make this thing easier for us, I want to run some load test on that. I want to artificially add CPU performance bottleneck here. And for that, I am going to add some script or add some tools or utility, and I would send this information into resources page. What I'm going to do, I'm installing some extra information, extra tool for running stress test. So I'm installing some extra packages here. That packages are required for a stress test tool to work. Once these packages are installed, I would then go ahead and say, hey, yes, and let me install the stress tool also. Right, so this is clear, done. I would go ahead and say, yeah, now please go ahead and install the stress tool. So stress tool is just a utility I would use to run CPU stress there. Done, it is clear. Let me check CPU utilization. I could check it through uptime. So here you could say average CPU utilization is around 0.40 and something. So it's very, very less. Let me test if this tool is working fine or not. So I could go ahead and run this stress tool, which is my stress tool, and CPU 8 minus V8 timeout. That's what I'm doing here. So I'm running 8 thread on CPU, and it is consuming a lot of CPU. Basically, it is hogging my CPU. So my CPU utilization is shooting up. I tested the tool. Yes, it is working fine. This is an example of you are building a master template. Whatever tools, whatever services you need, you could add those services into your primary template, and that template can become your starting point for remaining services. So my work here is done. I have added all the component I needed for it, and now what I'm going to do, I am going to shut down this instance, and I would capture its image, because launch config requires an image to get started, not a running instance. So first I would shut down this instance, and from that instance, I would be capturing an image associated with it. So let me stop this instance first, right? Once this instance stops, it would be in pristine state, and from there I would capture a AMI, a machine image for it, and that would be used as a starting point for anything I want to launch for my additional services. Okay, hopefully everyone is following along. Let me quickly check questions. Okay. Containers, little different question. We know it's not same concept. We will discuss it if the time permits. Maybe in next chapter, I will talk a little bit on containers if the time permits. So I have stopped this instance. Now I would say, hey, I am looking for building an image. Let me create an image here. I would call it like it is my primary template. And this is having this information. I could give some description to image. That's fine. And that is a simulation of you would install your application and then capture a AMI associated with it, right? Can't we use launch template and create new launch config? See, these two are two different things, Venkatesh. Now, older concept is called launch config. So if you see this auto scaling feature here on EC2 console, there is a component which is called launch config. So you could use launch config if you want, no problem at all on that. Little old school, the newest method we have is what we call is a launch template. So launch template has some additional information inside it, because then you could use this launch template not only for your EC2, but when you have a spot fleet to launch, when you have a spot instances to run, launch template could be used there. So launch template makes your template independent of auto scaling. If you have used launch config scope is only within auto scaling. So that's the difference, but it depends what your use case is. Right, so I would use here launch config. It's easy to get started with, but you could have used anything else. It should not be a problem at all. No issues on that. Let me verify whether my AMI is ready or not, whether my image got ready or not. So I'm checking here in AMIs, and if you could see, this image is still getting ready. Let me give it a name, give it few seconds, and from pending, it would come to ready state, and then I should be able to leverage that particular instance if I want to, right? So what would be the process for it? The process would be very simple. I would go to my launch config and I would say, hey, I want to create a launch configuration. Let's give it few names, some more information. Let's call it my BeSA launch config. Probably I should not give spaces. Which AMI to use? So I would select the AMIs which are available in my account. I could see them. See this? This is my all the AMIs which I have, and this one was my primary template which I was looking for. So no AMIs found. Give it few seconds, and it would be ready, and then we should be able to leverage that AMI. So let's say this is my primary template. So I'm using that. Instance type. I could select what would be my instance type associated with it. So I'm creating a launch config, and I can say auto scaling group. Whenever you add more capacity, what you should do, you should go ahead and add this type of instances which I'm asking you to add, and I could select them. So give it few seconds, it would come. Another thing, if you see here, I could go ahead and say I want my spot instances also to be part of it. So that is not at all a problem. So I could go ahead and add instance types. Let's exit the page, come back again. Probably it was not able to detect the primary template. Can we mix instance type? Absolutely, you can. Not in launch config, but in launch template, that option is available. So that newer feature in a way is available on launch template. See this, instead of using launch config, we recommend using launch template. So that's fine. We will see that. So let's see LC01, launch config 01, and let me select the AMIs. This is my primary template which we had. What else is there? Then we are selecting instance type. So let's select instance type here. Hopefully this time it will give me list of instances. Yeah, we can take break, but I want to leverage that time because the instance itself will take little time to get ready. So we will take break in a minute. Let me type things very carefully and be little more patient here. It would come up. See, most of the time you would be using script or cloud formation. So manually doing things are not always the best approach. Probably you would have automation done using cloud formation or Terraform or tool of your choice, or maybe just a Python program who would go ahead and launch all these services for. So you should not be a problem. So this time it's fine. We selected T2.micro here. And in this, I could, if you want, you could use spot instances. You could associate a IAM profile also, because these instances would need to report something back if you require, you could add that. And you could add storage and security group information. I am using SSH from anywhere, that's fine. Key pair information, so I would obviously use a key pair which is jump box because I want to run something on that, and I say yes, I am happy, and I am creating a launch config. So I am starting up a launch config. This is the base for my auto scaling group. Once my launch config is ready, I would leverage that into a auto scaling group. So let me launch auto scaling group, and then we will go for a short break. So this is my auto scaling group option. Not a very complicated setting, very easy to get started. What I'm looking for, I am creating an auto scaling group. Let's call it BeSA ASG launch template or launch config. See this, you could have used both. I am switching to launch config, and this is my launch config 01. And in this, I have options to select which VPC it would launch into. I could say that I want to spread my application across multiple subnet. So you could add that. It would give little more high availability for your application. And what else you could do? You could go ahead and skip and review, or you could follow some more instruction like, hey, do you need a load balancer? So it can add it for you. Do you want to perform a health check, and how much time you want for that health check? That you could add. Additional metrics collected from auto CloudWatch or not. So you could select that too. Here is my option for desired capacity, minimum capacity, and maximum capacity. I'll explain them, but let me put right now some values and let it be ready, and I'll explain it little later what these settings are. So desired, minimum, and maximum, and I could say what my scaling policies are. I haven't said any policy, but let me say I am using a target tracking based policy. I'll explain policy also, so don't worry. I'm right now tracking 50% CPU utilization. It happens, it should trigger the policy. So this is for my scale out. I may want to scale in also. So we'll discuss scale in, scale out options in a minute. I have set the policy. I want to notify someone when auto scaling happens. So I could notify those person specifically from here. I could add tags so I could identify these instances. And once I'm happy, my auto scaling group is getting ready. I start creating an auto scaling group here. As the minimum configuration was 2, what is going to happen? This auto scaling group is going to add 2 instances for me, and that would be visible in a minute here that hey, it is updating and it has started launching 2 EC2 instances. If you go back to EC2 dashboard, you should be seeing those 2 instances getting ready for you. It may take little while, but it should be visible that hey, we are now starting 2 EC2 instances for you, because the minimum value you asked for us was a minimum 2. So right, let me remove this running from here, and you could see these 2 instances are getting started, and if you see, they are being spread on multiple availability zone. Why? Because it would ensure that one of them fails, other would still survive if the availability zone is completely down.